The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is after Loma's performance, do you want to see a rematch with Teofimo Lopez? Now, Teofimo Lopez's dad was at the fight, although they said that Teofimo Lopez can't fight George Kambosos because he got COVID, and Teofimo Lopez Sr. is his trainer, but somehow he's out and about at the fights. I'm not trying to fuel conspiracy. I'm just saying, you know. All right, so here was an interview that Teofimo Lopez Sr. had with Bob Arum.
Yeah, he made you a lot of money tonight because that fight when we get it done, which we will, it's going to be huge,
amazing. And you know what? I wasn't thinking about Lomachenko in the past, but after this performance, I think that the public wants to see this fight. I think that I could convince my son to fight him again. I think that after Kambosos, it could be made. It's going to be the biggest fight in the world, and we can make it happen in December in the Madison Square Garden, you know, like we always do, you know. My son's record in the Madison Square Garden is 6-0 with 6 knockouts. You already know that. So, you know, for the Heisman Awards. So why can't we make it happen there, you know? But I got to talk to him.
You're a real man, and your son's a real man, and I hope he's getting better.
Oh, no, he's good. He's 100% out of trouble.
That's good news, and we'll send it.
You're a good man. He got COVID. You're a real man. Round it out. All right, I'm gonna turn it over to you, Conspiracy G, man. So, all right, I'm kind of before you answer this question about seeing Loma and Teo in a rematch. What's your thoughts on the fact that Teo, because you are the one with the Conspiracy G, what's your thoughts on the fact that Teofimo Lopez is at home with COVID and his dad, the trainer, is out and about around everyone, pounding Bob Arum like my son's feeling 100% now, right now on the
bro. His father just low key snitched. Give us some 100, fam. Be good. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? You know what I mean? But hey, man, listen. Y'all want to believe that COVID story? All y'all want. God bless y'all.
You doubling down, G? No, I need to know right now, G. You doubling down? Are you saying that Teofimo Lopez doesn't have COVID and he did this for other reasons?
Hashtag G was right. But anyways, in regards to I actually agree 1,000% with Bob. This performance was so good. I honestly think they can make this a pay-per-view match now, you know, because their first fight was great. But remember, Loma was a late starter. Like, it was like the first half of the fight, Loma really wasn't turning up. So now it's either two things. It's either Teofimo Lopez just neutralized Lomachenko's performance for the first half of the fight, or Lomachenko may have actually had an injury going into that fight. After seeing what he did to Nakatani, I'm leaning on he actually did have a shoulder injury, and now that he got the surgery, he's back to 100%. So I do want to see this fight, you know, and not to mention it's still one of the biggest fights at 135, and a lot of people, including myself, I was like, is this really really Lomachenko? Because of the first half of the fight was like he was pretty much non-existent. So to see them run it back, even though I'm gonna be honest, if I was Teofimo, I could understand why he doesn't want the rematch because of all the antics and stuff from Lomachenko's side at the first fight. But at the same time, it's like, bro, money. This is money. Take the bag. What Timothy Bradley say? He's like, hey, I understand, T.O., but as long as they hit you with a bag, what was that, filled with money, take the fight. So I definitely want to see this rematch now. Loma just boosted up that fight with this performance, you know, and it should definitely be a pay-per-view one. Like, and I think this is going to be Loma's first pay-per-view, right?
To my knowledge, yes.
Yeah, so, man, salute to both of them, man. Like, this is going to be an exciting fight and well-deserved for the 135. I'm still not going to call whoever won undisputed because it's still a dispute. But nonetheless, salute to that. Whoever wins that fight, salute to y'all.
All right. I'm gonna have you in the hot seat one more time, G. because you one of those people who talking like Loma's running from Devin. Based on what you saw with Devin and Jorge Linares, and what you saw with Vasily Lomachenko and Nakatani, you really think that Vasily Lomachenko is running from Devin Haney?
Yo, listen, it ain't about what I think.
No, because you know it is about what you think. Because you the one who said that he running from that.
Have they fought?
No, they haven't fought.
Why not?
But that's not an indicator of anything. He didn't fight Devin Haney. He fought the other champion with the only belt that he didn't have. And he fought Teofimo Lopez, who many people would argue is a better fighter than Devin Haney.
That's an argument that hasn't been proved in the ring, though.
Well, Teofimo Lopez has beaten better fighters than Devin Haney. Likewise, so has Vasily Lomachenko. So it actually has been proven in the ring based on level of opposition.
Well, level of opposition isn't fighting because remember, styles make fights, right?
That is true. But what I'm saying is what I can say that is fact is he took on a fighter who was champion with a better resume than Devin Haney. And because I can say that, you can't call it a duck. You could only call it a duck if he took on a fighter who had less accomplishments.
Not necessarily true, but I'll say this. I've heard Loma's father and Bob Arum both say they don't even want him at 135. They want him to go down to 130. To me, I'm like, why would you go down to 130? You know Devin can't go down to 130. Once I heard that to me solidified they don't want no smoke, man.
No, you heard Arum and Loma's dad, but last time I checked, Vasily Lomachenko just fought Nakatani at 135.
Yeah.
I'll just close it with this. For me, you got to look at it from a neutral standpoint, right? So if you think Jerron Boots Ennis is so great and he's the future of boxing, that's cool. But if Earl Spence said, because say hypothetically Jerron Boots Ennis was Earl Spence mandatory, and he said, "Nah, I'm not, Jerron Boots Ennis is cool, but I want to fight Terence Crawford," and he does fight Terence Crawford.
That's different. That's not ducking.
But it's the same scenario.
No, it's not the same scenario.
Yes, it is the same scenario.
No. Devin has the WBC.
He didn't have it then.
Hold on, wait a minute. He didn't have it then because Loma had it. When Loma found out he had to fight Devin Haney, what he said, yo, I don't even need this belt. And then what happened? He petitioned Mauricio Suleiman for a franchise belt. And I was like, why would Mauricio even give him a franchise belt unless he's going up or down in weight? If you're just going to stay at 135, you don't need a franchise belt. So to me, that was a clear duck.
Again, like the point I'm making, Jerron Boots Ennis, you may think is some great fighter or going to be some great fighter, hasn't proved it in the ring yet, whereas Terence Crawford was already undisputed in WBO. So if Earl avoids fighting Jerron Boots Ennis to fight Terence Crawford, how can you say he ducked Ennis? He took on a more accomplished fighter who has a better resume. Now, I'll just throw it to you. That's my take on it. We've got sidetracked too much, so I'm just going to throw it to you, Dollar Bill. What was your reaction to what Teofimo Lopez dad said about the fight? Oh, and or do you want to see a rematch as well?
My reaction to it was Canelo's reaction when he seen Boo Boo. Payday. That's what I was like. Actually, I want to say something. Quote Timmy from last night, Timothy Bradley. I want to quote him. You know what I'm saying? I never do, but let me quote him. He said, and when they make that fight happen, and he thinks that they can make that fight happen, and I think they can make that fight happen too. He re-signed with them. He said that they need to have 2 Brinks trucks outside, because they can make this fight happen. But Bob's going to have to come up off of some money, and I think that he should, because this will be a big, big fight. I think this will be a big fight. People will want to see Loma get some get back. How I had the fight, I scored the fight. I scored it really, really close. Like I scored it close. I had maybe had Teofimo Lopez winning by a round or two, and he definitely,
I think we all I will like same.
yeah,
Tio
yeah.
I had 115, 113
Yeah,
Tio.
yeah, and because he closed the show. I think that 12th round he went in there and closed the show. I think Loma overthinked the fight. You know, sometimes you could be too good. You know what I'm saying? For real, you could be too good and you just overthink some stuff. You know, I see people, basketball players do. I see Jordan or LeBron. They'll go up, like I seen Jordan do it one time, right, where he was going up for the shot, and then instead of just going to shoot for the shot, he threw it down to, I think it was the Horace Grant or something. You know, back in the days, they threw it down, the fake shot down to his power forward. Horace Grant missed the shot, missed the layup. You know what I'm saying? So if Mike, he overthinked it, he would just shot the shit. You Michael Jordan.
Bro, and just to add to that, we saw that last night. You got a guy, Paul George, who shoots over 80% from the free throw line. The game's on the line, and he's known for choking, and everyone gets him on Twitter, and then he misses the free throws. And that's nothing but overthinking it. You in your own head. In your own head.
You know, and I think everybody would want, especially with my only thing is this. My only thing is this, because I gotta keep the same energy, right? I gotta keep the same energy. Y'all get on me if I don't. You know, I gotta keep the same energy. My only thing that I'm not gonna go with is I'm not gonna go with the whole excuses with the shoulders and all that stuff.
I was gonna ask you that too. What's your thoughts on the excuses?
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. If we sit here and we bash another guy for making a whole bunch of excuses, then I'm gonna keep the same energy. I'm like, no, you knew what it was when you got in that ring. You knew how you was feeling when you got in that ring. Nobody goes into that ring 100%. And you forget that Teofimo Lopez, his whole foot was messed up. I remember this thing was all bleeding and everything else after the fight. He went in there and he fought injured too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear none of that. That actually upsetted me a little bit.
And it discredit Teofimo's victory as well with the
you know, so to that kind of upset me because Loma, you're great. You don't have to make these excuses. You know, it happens. You know what I'm saying? You win some, you lose some. But you live to fight another day, and you didn't get outclassed. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get outclassed. It wasn't like, you know, somebody just, you know. No, it was a tough fight.
Correction. He was getting outclassed.
Yeah, and he turned around.
Then he turned it
around, you know. And I know this time around he feels like, you know, he's going to start sooner, you know. And I just think to me, it was him overthinking. He was in there with a guy. He said, all right, cool. I don't want to exert so much. I want to check myself, make sure I have some entertainment. Just overthink this instead of just going in there and having fun and letting your hands go and just believing in yourself and believing in your skills and ability. You know, this is what you do. This is what you do. Nobody can do what you do, and you do it great. You know what I'm saying? You're a tactician in there. The things that you do with your feet in there is unbelievable. Shout out to your dad. You know what I'm saying? You are amazing in there. You just got to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Leave the excuses at the door. And I believe that everybody want to see this rematch. I want to see this rematch before I want to see Teofimo Lopez go up and face somebody else that probably at 140. Why not? Take care of this. But pay these guys handsomely. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna start off by saying this. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So what I mean by that is your shoulders hurt. Nobody cares. They don't want to hear it. Once you step in that ring, people expect you to be in top form. Nobody cares about any excuse that you may have outside of the ring. Nobody cares. So when Vasily Lomachenko stepped in that ring, if his shoulder was hurt, he should have postponed the fight. Because from the moment you walk in that ring, everyone assumes you believe you can win. That's what we assume. So at the end of the fight, nobody wants to hear an excuse. I remember Andre Ward used to postpone fights all the time. I used to be like, we used to say it, me and Trish used to joke. We'd be like, yeah, the fight schedule, but after it gets postponed, it's going to happen. Because Ward would not step in that ring unless he felt like he was good enough to go. And you know why? Because he knew if he went in that ring and he lost, nobody would care that he had a nagging injury or whatever. So when all is said and done, look at Tio. I don't know what's going on in the Tio camp. I've been told that Tio has COVID. And shout out to Complex, who was in Miami and actually met George Kambosos and was talking with George Kambosos. He sent us a picture. I don't have it loaded, so I put it up there. And he said that George Kambosos' team actually saw medical documents that said that Teofimo has COVID. So that's some journalistic reporting from Complex right there, who spoke with Kambosos in Miami. So,
and I was the doctor that gave him the letter.
Oh, for the record, let me just tell you, you can get the doctors to write a note about anything.
I know.
About anything. Like, I've seen some letters from doctors. Like, are you kidding me? They're not even qualified to say this. When he walks in room 208, he gets anxiety attacks. And so he can't.
Yo, y'all ever see accommodation letters, bro? Trust me. Y'all don't know. You can
Some
say
doctors are like, did you give your insurance, your health insurance to the people out front? What you need me to say? Tennis elbow? Okay. For real. So nobody cares. But after that performance, I would like to see a rematch, mainly because even before this performance, I was calling for a rematch. See, people act like Vasily Lomachenko is some scrub. And I honestly believe it's from what Tril said. Sometimes you can be too good. And Vasily Lomachenko was a guy who could do whatever he wanted in the ring, when he wanted in the ring. He can start when he wanted. He can do all this stuff. I think Vasily Lomachenko was too confident. And what I mean by that is he was cautious. He wanted to collect data. So people don't understand, like, when you're someone like Vasily Lomachenko and someone like Floyd, and again, I'm not making a comparison to say that they're the same, but they are people who take calculated risks and make you pay when you miss. You're gauging a lot of things. You want to see how hard a person can throw. You want to see how fast they can throw. You want to see what tendencies they have. Are there any hitches, things you can pick up on? So Vasily Lomachenko was doing that, and it took him a very long time to figure out Tio. And that's a credit to Tio, because Tio was more technically sound than Vasily Lomachenko thought he was going to be. Teofimo Lopez was more athletic, had more speed and ring IQ than Vasily Lomachenko thought he was going to have. And so it got to the point where it's like, bro, if you spend any more time collecting data, you're going to run out of time for the test. Yeah. So Vasily Lomachenko was like, okay, I got to go now. But once Vasily Lomachenko said, I got to go now, mainly, I think what sparked it was the loudmouth daddy, Teofimo Lopez Sr. It's a blowout. It's a
blowout. Yeah.
From the moment he said that, Vasily went out there and put a whooping on Tio and almost stopped Tio. And that's the thing. Vasily lost that fight, but Tio was more hurt in that fight than Vasily Lomachenko. And Tio went and won. I mean, and Vasily went and won a series of rounds to the point where I had it 114, 113 for Teofimo Lopez going into the 12th round. On my card, if Vasily wins the 12th round, he gets a draw, keeps all the belts. But that's when Tio showed some dog. That's when Tio went out and closed the show. So you got to get that credit to Tio, because I thought he was going to get stopped, went out and closed the show. So I always thought Vasily deserved a rematch. I thought Vasily, started too late. But after seeing that fight last night, I'll say this. If Tio gives Vasily Lomachenko a rematch, salute to him. He's a throwback fighter. If I'm Vasily Lomachenko, I'd rather fight Devin, I'd rather fight Josh Taylor. I would not give Vasily Lomachenko a rematch. That's just based on probability of winning. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'll make my prediction right now. If Teofimo Lopez gives Vasily Lomachenko a rematch, he's going to lose. So if he wants to keep them belts, if he wants to remain the takeover, don't fight Vasily Lomachenko. My prediction right now, if Teofimo Lopez fights Vasily Lomachenko, again, he's going to lose.
Hold on. My prediction right now, if they do the fight, Teo's smart enough to have a rematch clause. Just saying.
You better. You know what? You're right. And he should. We're going to look at another trilogy.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe and check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. Tril Talk 2 is out right now. We are the Boxing Bros.
Don't forget one. One's out too.
One's out too.
Both out.
You're welcome. You're all welcome.